All right. How many of you have done this poem, Puta? The terrorist is watching under the theme of conflict. Under the theme of conflict. Yeah. All right. Okay. You got any idea about this poem? The terrorist, he is watching. I'll repeat the poem. The bomb in the bar will explode at 13:20. Now it's just 13:16. There's still time for some to go in and some to come out. Some to go in and some to come out. The terrorist has already crossed the street. That distance keeps him out of reach. And what a view, just like the movies. A woman in a yellow jacket is going in. A man in dark glasses is coming out. Teenagers in jeans, they are talking. 13, 17, and 4 seconds. The short one is lucky. He's getting on a scooter. But the tall one is going in. 13, 17, and 40 seconds. That girl is walking along with a green ribbon in her hair. But then a bus suddenly pulls in front of her. 13, 18. The girl's gone. Was that dumb? Was he that dumb? Did she go in or not? We'll see when they carry them out. 13, 19. Somehow no one's going in. Another guy, fat, bold, is leaving, though. Wait a second, looks like he's looking for something in his pockets, and at 13:20 minus 10 seconds, he goes back in for his crummy glass. 13:20 exactly, this waiting. It's taking forever, and any second now. No, not yet. Yes, now the bomb, it explodes. Yeah. All right. So what's your idea here? And what do you find here, children? Slava Szymborska. Yes, the terrorist is watching. He's a Polish poet, essayist, translator, and the recipient of the 1996 Nobel Prize in Literature. So she's a Nobel Prize winner for literature. She was born in Provence, which is now part of Komuk. She later resided in Krakow. The title of the poem is suggestive. It is suggestive. It gives a context and creates tension. Now you do understand, it creates lots of tensions. It creates tensions among the readers, right? Even among the listeners. The context, the situation is common to many societies, right? As you all know that we had been struggling with the war for 30 years, and it was really terrible war. And the people, used to have lots of issues just because of the war that we had in Sri Lanka. And people had suffered a lot. 25 to 30 years, nearly more than 30,000 people lost their lives, and many disabled. And it's still, how many disabled soldiers we find in Sri Lanka. How many people lost their, fathers and mothers and children. So it was a real calamity, a disaster. It was a disaster that we experienced in Sri Lanka. You are lucky right now we don't have such issues. But we do hear this kind of issues all over the world even right now. We hear this kind of issues, right? So this context creates tension. Now here we do have a question about who narrates this, and how come the narrator knows all this and that happening there with the terrorist, and is there anybody else watching? Is there anybody else watching? So it's a question here. It's a question to us. So now these things are common in our modern societies. Now these situations we can see. These situations we all can see. These kind of disasters. So these are all man-made disasters. These are all man-made disasters. People create these things. People create these things. You understand? So Sri Lanka also, you may not have been that time, but Sri Lanka also underwent this kind of situations nearly 30 years. So that was all deliberately planned, purposely planned violence and assassinations were common in Sri Lanka. Deliberately means to say that purposely, right? Purposely planned murders, assassinations, and blast explosions. So they were like very common. They were very common fact in Sri Lanka. We had plenty of them in Sri Lanka. So during this course of the war, are you clear, children? Are you clear with it? And then, yes. So I don't want to tell you like again, because you may just, if you talk to your parents, they would repeat. They would definitely tell you like these about these explosions and the violence that we had, right? So like we feel and we do understand that how these people perpetrated, how these terrorists committed this kind of crimes, right? Crimes or the violences, right? All these senseless violences, right? And that is what reminds us. Now here, the poet captures the moment of assassination and the destruction. So as we are familiar with this kind of issues, like back about 10 years back in Sri Lanka, so these things are not that, strange things for us. So now here, as we know, going through the poem, the terrorist has set the bomb and is waiting to see the blast. Like the terrorist has fixed the bomb, set the bomb, probably it's a time bomb, and he has set it, and now he's in a safer distance, waiting to see like how it's going to explode, Are you clear, children? Are you clear? Yeah. Yes.
Yes,
Nilmi, did you
sir.
get that, Puti?
Yes,
Ashini?
yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Now, yeah. Now see this presentation. This presentation becomes very visual. This presentation, the presentation of this poem becomes very visual and very auditory impact. What are we waiting for? What is the auditory impact we are waiting for? Yes. What is the auditory impact we are waiting for? The bomb to blast. The bomb to blast. Are you clear, children? Are you clear? We are waiting for the bomb to blast. Right? So from stanza to stanza, the point